Torwin, it is not polite to put your hands through people without their permission.
But don't you see?
The fact that you have like etiquette rules in place or ready to hand for situations in which someone is a ghost speaks volumes, really. All right.
Speaking of which,
when we last left our intrepid adventurers, Torwin had
Corwin had an idea.
Basler had wandered into a nearby
That's
hallway.
scary.
And by wandered, I mean explored greedily. Tiana and Edward were looking vaguely nauseous at the fact that they were absolutely sure how to get through this door right here. Ash was looking, I don't know, probably not nauseous, but certainly concerned about
apprehensive
at the tumbling ice skulls. And Torwin had perhaps acted in the most concerning way by Ulrich, super genius. And Torwin had perhaps worried everybody the most by simply saying, "Hey guys, Catherine, you want this one?"
I've got an idea.
I have an idea. And I don't wait for anyone to.
Oh,
of course
God.
not.
People are suddenly very glad he's off in another room.
No, I'm not. Oh, well,
No,
yeah, he is.
Basler's quite happy to be in another room. I mean, there is every likelihood he's outside of the blast radius of whatever Torwin's about to do.
Well, in the logic of Torwin,
oh God,
having
note to self: never let Catherine play Nobilis.
So every story where death cults are involved, or death cults.
Because he's such a expert on death cults.
It's
okay,
in all
continue.
The stories.
He's an expert on stories in which death cults lose, which is to say, approximately 25% of all death cult stories.
But, actually, 100% of all death cult stories, because the ones where they win, nobody writes down stories.
There you go. Good point. All right.
Everyone just keeps telling the story until somebody comes and eats them.
So what's Torwin's theory?
Well, obviously, this skull and the bowl and the dagger and stuff do something. I just need to activate them. And in all the stories, death cult stuff is activated by blood. So
what?
So he picks up
blood on it.
He picks up the dagger and cuts himself and strips it into the bowl.
He okay. All right. Okay. Where does he stab himself or cut himself? Like on
the hand.
Oh, on his hand. Okay. All right.
Make sure that's
obviously not his
sword in hand.
It's not like he would stab himself in the gut or anything.
No, that's fair. Why don't you, first of all...
roll me a death roll.
Well, no. There's actually a move for that.
Save versus Apocalypse.
Roll me less breath.
You know what's funny to me? I'll just mention parenthetically and out of character, is that they spent 3 pages on all of the random crazy-ass songs that you might want to play on the organ because players are crazy and do random shit. Not one note on, if the players decide to randomly enact a quick Cliff Notes version of a human sacrifice in the bowl, here's what happens.
I like it.
That is actually kind of funny.
Nobody did that.
I win!
Because playing Anagata Devita on the death organ is more likely than someone slitting open their hand in the middle of the skull altar. All right,
I win!
Yes, you win for some value of crazier than other
Winning?
people expected. Yes. Catherine, would you do me what you need to do is roll me a Defy Danger using, I cannot decide between Con or Wisdom, but let's go with Wisdom. Well, no.
We should go with con.
I think we already lost the wisdom roll.
Oh, I think she just. I think she simply chose to not roll the. I mean, can you pass on something like that? I think you probably can. She certainly did. All right. What did I didn't? Let me get over here. Catherine rolls a 7 on con. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm just going to do a little bit of damage here. This actually hurts a lot more than you thought it was going to.
Like it's trying to like suck your life force from your veins.
Really hurts a lot more than you thought it was going to.
The stories don't tell about this.
You got overexcited and actually stabbed through the head and not just down the head.
Holy crap, that hurts. Okay. So we'll go over here to Torwin the Courageously Not Sensible, and we'll just lower his hit points a couple of points. They only did 2, but it really hurts. It is not. It is.
Not cool, man. Not cool.
It is distracting. You're gonna be. You take a little bit of damage, and whatever your next action is that involves like some sort of physical activity, you're gonna have a -1 on that roll. You got +1 forward. Actually, no, I'm just going to say -1 on whatever your next roll is in general, because it's either going to physically interfere or it just hurts a lot and it's distracting if it happens to be a mental thing. And
I am amazed.
the floor, and by floor I mean entire temple, rumbles. Oh.
Great.
They'll turn around and look at Torwin.
And ends with,
Torwin, what did you do?
So the
I
rumbling's
thought you
like,
guys were already looking.
I think that's when Ash kind of looks up from his experiment. It's just like, who did what? Who did
No,
what?
that's just the screaming hallway again.
What did you do?
Annie, what did you do?
Lucy, you got a lot of splaining to do.
I brought a friend back from the sacrificial skull altar.
It disappointingly didn't seem to do a lot. Well, okay, except for the fact that the entire temple shook.
That is something on the scale of nothing happening.
That's really cool. You guys, we should do that again.
What did you do?
Who tackles him first?
I'm closest.
I'm backing away.
Dagger slam back down on the thing. Torwin, I mean, kind of like, do you just like kind of take him out of there by the ear, or do you just point? Like,
no, I know, you guys. I know how to get it to actually work. I need to be wearing the medallion thing.
At this point, the ear is following me back out of any kind of range. Put the dagger back where it belongs.
Tiana's like pointing to one of the prayer pillars. Kennel. Terrible.
All right.
Well, so that solves that problem. Or that answers that question, I guess. If you happen to have a question about what happens if you decide to fake a sacrifice, might be a really good indicator of what happens if you aren't faking it.
What would happen if we actually killed someone and did the whole sacrifice?
I think
that
everyone
sounds really cool. We could find the source of that.
I think everyone would be giving Torwin the look at that statement.
I think everyone would be saying, well, if we had to pick someone.
I mean, first of all, you need somebody you want to kill. And right now, you are gunning for number 1 with a bullet. Basler, what are you doing?
I rummaged through my pack so I can get an inhaler for the evil.
No, that was a lozenge sound. That was
looks like we got some doors here. Basically, I'm checking doors.
Okay. Okay, that's what to do. 1 second.
He rolled very high on his ignore stupidity.
You know, if you're gonna pick a thing,
No, it was not stupidity. It was a very well thought out idea.
If you're 12,
Excuse me.
I am older than that.
15.
Okay, let me get my little reveal thing here. All right, that door opens up easily enough. Rotted out cots, empty footlockers. Looks like a not slaves' quarters. It's better than slaves' quarters. If you had to guess, like lesser priests, maybe, or lay persons of the temple. Although that seems a little bit organized
Nuns
for a
on the
death
run.
cult. Nuns on the run, something like that. Anything in particular you want to do in there? You can certainly
Just
dig
checking,
around.
just checking for useful, interesting stuff.
Okay, why don't you give me a... You know what? You don't need to really give me that. You're just good at this kind of stuff. The footlockers are all empty. Sort of inside one of the cots, like in the matting and stuff, is a simple but grotesque wooden mask. Kind of a tribal thing. I mean, because you're kind of down from that same neck of the woods as Tiana, although this wouldn't really be your culture, but certainly looks like a tribal mask in the style of the southern lands. Not part of the goddess's cult by any stretch of the imagination, but more tribal, far out in the sticks kind of a thing. The big, wooden mask with what looks like actual blackened human teeth set into the mouth of the thing.
Hey, teeth we can use.
I was just thinking the same thing.
They smell.
Great.
They smell. It smells bad.
Well, you have some 200-year-old teeth sitting around.
Sure,
See what you
sure.
think.
Okay, so I'm sitting here thinking my next move ought to be go back out there to the main room so that Torwin can immediately try on the mask. Like it's going to happen.
Well,
So-
I mean, certainly
cool.
someone is going to go. Are you heading back out there with this thing?
If there was a rumbling and a noise, yeah, I'm going to go be like, okay,
All right.
what was that?
I was thinking more just taking one of the teeth and dropping it in the water.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk out there with the mask and say, what? It's about
Exactly. I say what?
yeah. What was that?
Point to Torwin.
Everybody points at Torwin.
Everyone points at Torin. Torin holds up a bloody palm where he apparently cut himself.
I thought it was a good idea
Why?
because it would activate something, and it did
Why is that a good idea?
because it's cool.
So I found this mask because it just doesn't even bear responding.
Hey, I found a mask with teeth in it, you guys.
Teeth?
Oh, we might have a use for those.
Didn't we need teeth?
Yeah.
Over here in the water.
Ulrich, Ash, who's sitting there looking at the skulls and stuff, is like sort of absently. It's like, didn't somebody said they need teeth? But he's still like sort of like holding crystals up to the skulls and scribbling down readings. It's just sort of absently. There was a teeth thing going on. I'm sure of it. Someone mentioned that. So, does somebody go and retrieve the mask? Basilar brings it over. What's happening?
I'm just kind of standing here dumbfounded. Like, on the one hand, I should probably give them the teeth so they can do whatever the thing is. On the other hand, I want to be kind of near the door so I can make a quick exit when they do the thing.
So Basilar, come over here and see what we got.
No.
Oh, wait, what's that button?
Basilar.
Negotiation works. You cut both parties equally. I'll come halfway there. Okay.
So Basler, if we
Oh,
want to get out of this,
Then my door is
this is
right over
probably
there.
the way
No.
out.
It also occurs to you that Ash might be able to tell everyone a little something about this mask before you guys start poking it or ripping pieces off of it, which
That's a good-
also adequately gets you halfway through the room without having to come any further.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fair. Ash, can you just take a look at this before we blow the world up? Can you?
Oh, yeah.
And here's
Door.
And,
Oh, yeah, that door. Yeah, I might be able to do
and
something about that.
there's XP for Basler also.
I'm gonna sneak back towards the way out.
Okay.
But
So,
there's something. This is really kind of creepy and scary over here. You sure you don't want to take a look at it? Because
So, Noise,
Yes.
tell me about this mask. Describe this thing to me.
Well, I did describe it to you. It's a blackened wood. It's older. It's quite old. Although it's quite sturdy, it's fairly. I wouldn't call it crude, but it's certainly not expert work. You're getting
Primitive.
well, doesn't need to be too advanced. The smell.
Amateurish.
Yeah, amateurish. It's not a proper artificer's work. Although
I know woodworkers who do much better work than this.
seems to be a bit of a mix of necromantic and illusion magic, enchantment, something of that nature. Not exactly sure what that's about. Not 100% sure what it would even do. The teeth, the smell, as near as you can tell, is coming from the teeth.
That's probably where the magic is. If you look at the symbiotic magic that they've been performing, she says, waving the hand at Ash.
No, I think it's the marrow's gone bad. So,
Tiana,
No, I'm not saying why it stinks. I'm saying why the teeth are important.
Oh, Tiana, were you coming over to retrieve the mask? Was that what was going on?
Sure.
All right.
well,
Sometimes you just gotta do things yourself. Fine, I'll do it. Don't worry.
I have questions
I'll
here.
take care of
You
it.
have questions? Ask me questions.
What does this do?
What does this do?
Nothing good.
You can just ask me what it does, huh? Your guess would be that it. What, Torwin? What are you doing? I like how you're pinging yourself every time you creep closer to the skull. I want to give everybody ample opportunity to tackle me on the way to stupidity.
Well, Tiana was the one keeping me there. Tiana did something
Okay.
else, and I'm curious.
Fine. Edward goes and gets the mask. Tiana starts to head over there, and then
here's the pitter pat of little feet.
Harwood needs like a stop me from doing something dangerous flag.
No, you know what he's gonna. I'm gonna get him like the toddler leash
Fighter leech.
and tie it to my belt.
Or a bell.
I can't be too
You make enough
specific,
noise as it is.
but you're fairly certain that this probably renders the wearer indetectable to. It's not powerful enough to be all undead, but some specific undead, maybe. Like if you were going to say, there's a list of like this finite list of undead I would like to not be seen by.
Like each one of the teeth.
No, I mean the teeth are probably more of a power source than anything else, or just a symbol. It's more symbology than anything else.
It's sympathetic magic that does this.
What's that?
So it's sympathetic magic. that
Sure,
does this.
sure.
Right. It's a mask. Therefore, it masks you from view.
And it's not powerful enough to be like all undead, but it certainly seems to be something. It does something.
Torwin.
You know,
Torwin hears them talking about the cool mask, and it makes it people, and what it does, and quickly walks over.
I like how the blood ended up somehow on Tiana. That's not even fair.
So I'm just gonna like after I see this, it's just gonna be like, oh hey, I'll like wait, hold it up to Tiana and just be like, oh, hide you from some
Do I
undead.
recognize it?
Does who recognize it?
Do I recognize it?
No, I mean it's the kind of stuff you would expect to see on some hut out in the sticks, like far from civilization in your homeland. Like and even that, it's almost a caricature of that.
Okay. Like a warding of evil sort of thing?
Yeah, like the kind of thing that you wouldn't really, a dream catcher, but not a dream, but that kind of a thing, except this one's actually got some juju on it.
Do you think maybe the teeth on this could be used over here in the awful fountain?
Well, I have two methods for that. One is we could pry the teeth out of here, and it would most likely ruin the magic of the mask. And there is a possibility it could get us through the door. Or I could take a little bit of time and get us through the door other means.
Edward, having observed the mask close up, you are absolutely sure those teeth came out of the fountain in the basins in the first place. They have they have the same smell, and they have the same blackened look of the ones that were already in the basin. So whoever built the mask probably fished them out of there. So it may not even.
And it was this out or was it hidden?
It was under somebody's mattress.
So yeah,
so probably a prohibited item.
Yeah. Well, and taking sacrificial bits out of a sacrificial basin is probably not the best idea anybody's ever had anyway.
Yeah, but it's interesting that it apparently worked.
Not the best idea in a whole constellation of bad ideas.
Hang on, I'm
What
sorry,
are
I
you
gotta answer.
talking about? That seems like a great idea.
If it really worked, they would have taken the mask with them.
I also just want to point out that if there had been anything forbidden by the inhabitants of this place, I would have just run screaming out of here. This feels like a very sort of mundane, normal thing to have in a place like this. They're just not good housekeepers.
That's fine. Yeah. The flight leaves at like 7:30.
None of you are buying this.
Nope.
I might slightly be buying this.
Would you like this powder I have over here in Torwin's pocket? Or no, excuse me, Edward's pocket?
It's very nice.
I mean, we'll get some packing tomorrow, so we'll get that.
Tempting.
Pretty light. We've got. It's pretty much beach and.
Well, if we're all gonna die, at least I can die rich.
There's a washing machine.
Let's see what else we got around here.
I am shocked that we are not dead yet.
That's true in some cases.
I'm shocked I'm not dead.
That we'll all agree with.
That one's really cute, but she's got one here that she really likes.
Darwin, I think it's very important that you remember that you're not dead, because if you thought you were dead and you were still active, nothing would stop you. You just go do whatever you were going to do. So keep that firmly in mind, that you're not yet dead, and that you want to avoid being dead.
That sounds great.
No.
Being a ghost?
No. Because
I can tell you some really scary stories about very unhappy ghosts.
okay, not only would you be bound by like the death cult that's in operation here, or turned by some priest or something like that, you'd basically be enslaved to the living, and that's boring.
Only if they can.
And Tiana would kill you a second time.
There's also that.
Only if he can catch me. I can
And then
go
a third time,
balls.
and then a fourth time, and then a fifth
Okay.
time.
Anyway, so Ash, you were saying that you thought that you could get us through that door?
I'm sorry, I'm on a thing already.
There's a good possibility. Now, it's not going to be quick.
Can you do it before the final skull falls and whatever horrible thing's going to happen then happens?
I should be able to do it before the final skull falls. Now, since there is Basler, have you explored everything through the northern doors there?
There's a few more doors, and the moment that you say we're taking any sort of big risk or there's skulls falling, I'll be happy to go resume exploration up there.
Yes, I think since we are under a bit of a time crunch here, it's probably a good idea for us to explore all of our options as quickly as possible. So while I am dealing with the door, if you guys want to explore the rest of this crypt temple, that would be efficient.
So
I would love to, as long as I can bind Torwin.
Maybe Torwin would like to. Exploring uncharted territory deeper into the temple.
You don't have to convince Torwin. He's already halfway to the door.
And thus,
so
my previous comment.
Ash, what are you you're going to be trying to work on that door over there?
I have a plan. So,
okay.
Does it involve running away?
Tiana, if you don't mind, I'm going to leave you my raccoon. Okay. If you could, alert him if you need me right away.
Okay.
A more ridiculous statement was never mentioned.
Yeah, alert the raccoon if you need me. And the raccoon robot, does it whir? Does it make any like mechanical noises, or is it just a raccoon?
It is an alchemical golem, so I imagine that it's more like a reconstituted raccoon.
So yeah.
Ew.
Homunculi.
Ish.
Taxidermied. Remarkably lifelike. Disturbingly remarkable. It's got that uncanny valley of likeliness.
It's got green eyes. So,
Basler, any particular system here? Just whatever door is closest, up the right side, down the left side. What are you looking for?
Let's go counterclockwise. So yeah, we opened the first door to the right. We'll get the second door to the right.
All right. So this one is some of these.
So are we all going? Are we all going together as we go?
Sure. Move yourself wherever you think makes most sense. This is a
privy.
That is a privy. It's basically a hole in the floor, and it's a bathroom. It's a loo, in the traditional pre-germ theory glory of loos. Not much to search in there. Why is it not? Oh, I see. I am doing the wrong clicks. All right, there's your slave quarters. Ruined mats, corroded pots, shattered remains of several leg irons bolted into the floor, scratched graffiti on the walls in the common tongue and a few other tongues.
Okay. So basically, I'm seeing the southern part is for like the priests and the lay brothers. The northern part is for those under them as slaves, and the middle one is for the ones lowest of all, the college undergrads.
Yeah. Sure. Anything you're doing? You're just kind of going through and looking there, or what's the?
Yeah. Is there anything interesting, intelligible written in those scratchings on the wall?
Yeah, let's get Edward
to indicate dates, or here's our secret tunnel out that we've started, or Glorschnack the priest is a poopy head, or.
And what were you looking specifically for? Or were you, Basler, or were you just letting Edward do that one?
I think Edward's the best person to look at the inscriptions, and I'm going to keep checking doors.
Why don't you give me a... Let me look. What makes the most
intelligence
sense?
Roll?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I think. Why did I roll? Oh, I see. Why did I get 2 beeps for? Oh, I see. Torwin popped something up. So You don't find any. Well, you can't make out any notes regarding secret exits or anything like that. You do find a string of markings which appear to be musical notation for a short string of chords. It's written in, you know how like people don't really know how ancient Egyptian actually was pronounced because the notations for it sort of like they have all the consonants but none of the vowels.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? It's sort of like that. It's in a type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Neumes that like an old style that don't really indicate every aspect of the piece, but you could
Plain song.
Yeah, you could figure out how it's supposed to sound if you had a couple of minutes to kind of play around with the chords. Probably.
Well, I will inevitably try to hum it because.
Right. The problem
and
is,
if need be, I might pull out my vial to see if I can.
you need to do it on the viol, or the ideal thing obviously would be the organ because you could do the proper chords. Viol, whistling it or humming it's not going to really give you what you need because the function of the thing, it's all chords. So you can get bits of it, but it's not really going to be the viol. You could do. You can get the gist of it on the viol, certainly.
Okay.
Call it. You wouldn't actually get the full oral effect because you could probably do a chord of about 3 notes, I think, on something like that. And I think this thing's more like anywhere from 6 to all of them, and that kind of thing. But you can certainly get a general idea. It would then result in a lot less fiddling around if you were looking at anything else. There's also
Fiddling around. I saw what you did there.
I wish I had.
And avoided it.
Take a bow.
Oh God, it's terrible.
It's okay. Just be natural.
Ouch. Just ouch. There we go.
Telling us to give it a rest.
Under a
Clever girl.
Under
Keep it up and you'll get in trouble.
Under one of the mats, sort of scratched in the floor,
Please
you
count
also
me.
find. Oh, I'm just crying now. Under one of the mats, scratched in the floor, you find this kind of sort of scratched into the floor as well.
That's concerning.
Oh,
And
I
by
find a map.
concerning, I mean awesome.
I find a map with
Of this place.
scary faces, maybe? Yeah.
It looks like this map.
It does look like this map.
What's at the north of it. I really don't.
I really want to get into the other rooms.
We're right there right now. Uncle Dave is about to set off the death trap. I should have muted it before I said that.
Hey, Basler.
Yeah.
You might be interested in this.
Might I?
Is it
Since
the
he
way
was the guy
out?
who was doing all the exploring.
Is it the way out?
It could lead to it.
I see
I'm
treasure.
there. All right, let's go take a look.
What were his?
Edward jumps around around the corner as Basler comes in just to scare him.
I
Hey,
will stab
Basler.
you in the face.
That'd be totally worth it.
Why am I getting? Oh, there we go. Okay. Meanwhile, since Basler is no longer chaperoning Torwin, I'll just open up this other door here that Torwin's standing in front of.
Wasn't Tiana coming with us too?
I think she was, but it's funnier if they open up this door.
Ooh.
She comes through the door at the far end of the corridor just as Torwin's opening up the one at the end.
No.
I like this room. It has
You're muted.
stuff in it.
So it's a giant range top.
Ranged out. All right. So Basil, you can see
And a pineapple upside down cake.
you can see the map there. All right. So this is a.
That kind of looked like the mask.
This door was not locked. This door was not locked, although it did have a good-sized keyhole in it. The door you expected to be locked. It was not, in fact, locked. Torture instruments stained with blood and rust litter the room. There's a book lying on the floor.
Fortunately, Torwin can't read.
The torture devices in. Let me see. So top right there, that thing that I think that's the one that
Pineapple upside down cake.
Pineapple upside down cake. That is actually a. It's rather imposing looking. It's a pair of 15-foot diameter stone wheels, above each other. Each stone wheel about a foot thick, stacked like kind of LP records on a spindle. The device, based on the smears and stuff, it's pretty simple. You put somebody in between the two, and then you spin the top wheel until whoever's inside gets crushed between the two discs.
That seems like it's hard to clean up.
It doesn't look as though anybody especially tried. There's, like I said, there's a lot of blood smeared in it. There's
I hosed it down once or twice.
There's
Buckets of blood.
bits of bone in various places. There's
Any teeth?
You'd have to kind of get in there far enough to look at the turning mechanism to really kind of look in there and see if you can find any teeth. But there might certainly be teeth. I'm not going to rule that out. And it's not.
What's in the rest of the room?
It's not going to suddenly start spinning. There is a.
So you say.
Hey,
but
Torwin,
every horror movie tells me differently.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't tell Torwin anything. But ooh, there might be something useful in here. Torwin, what did you do in the village? Like, what were you apprenticed to before you stole everything and ran?
Everybody in sequence. Before he was kicked out to the next shop.
I asked Torwin, not Edward.
Sorry.
No, that's probably very likely.
You slept with everybody in the village, and then
No.
that's what. Okay, so that's what Edward was saying.
Well, that's the name, the Courageous. I mean, it's...
Yeah. What did you do in the village? Sort of. You apprenticed with everybody, and it just never really worked out with anyone.
Yeah, I think I was about to be sent off to the farmer.
Like
the farmer about 2 days away.
Yeah, the shepherd. Like you're going to be like watching sheep up in the mountain passes.
No. That already been there, done that. That didn't end well.
No. Sheep in the mountains. That was a bad idea. Everybody agreed that was a very bad
idea.
Everyone. That poor
we shall
herd.
not speak of the sheep.
That poor herd. That poor traumatized herd. They'll never give milk again.
That poor farmer will never have a herd again.
No, there were still 2 left.
So given that you had apprenticed with most people, you actually recognize one of the devices in here. It's not technically a torture device, although it certainly could be used for one. It's a forge on wheels. It's about 5 feet wide and about 6 feet tall. It's big. Used to heat up molten metal, but it's actually on, like, it wouldn't be easy to move, but you could move it. But yeah, given enough oil, you could actually get this thing rolling again, and it's meant to spill this molten metal out to an attached like slack tub. Although the tub can be attached or unattached, as you like. But given enough oil and flint and tinder, you could get this thing going. I
remember I was apprenticed for like almost a month. I could probably heat this up.
You know completely how to burn down this room.
That's actually well, no, this room given what it is actually relatively. I mean, it's stone. It's got a
It's
lockable.
Torwin.
It's a lockable door. I mean, this is actually a fairly secure room. The big thing over here, though, is probably what I mean. This is kind of like, oh, that looks interesting. I might crawl in there. You recognize the forge over in the corner. This thing, I'm not even entirely sure that Torwin would even know what this. It's a very big. It's baffling. It's a series of like metal rings that all seem to sort of interlock and loop around each other, and it just looks super complicated. You don't really know what it does. Although, while you're looking at it, like actually one of the sort of silvery discs that's mounted onto one of the rings, like actually makes sort of a mechanical clinking sound and like moves and goes like
Hey,
slides
Ash!
along one of the Ash.
Ash, there's something cool and it's moving.
That probably gets everybody's attention.
I'm going to choose to ignore Torwin. I have better things to deal with. Harsh.
What was that? What was that, Margie? You were muted. Sorry.
I think it should be everybody's flag, or a resist roll to ignore Torwin. I think we should have to roll for it.
So Tiana, you hear him shout, "It's something cool and it's moving." I think you can move yourself if you're so inclined. What Basler and Edward? What
Who
are you guys?
moved me?
What's that? He's down the
Who
hallway.
moved me?
I moved you. Like, I thought you were coming
No.
with him. No.
No, I sent you a message.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have that. I'm looking at other stuff. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm taking him. I see. Okay. All right.
But that's okay. I can.
They
Ash,
are largely featureless, so that wouldn't actually take up a lot of time.
Ash, you good?
Yeah, I would probably be better off with like a few quiet moments anyway.
Yeah. This.
He's just looking for time to steal something.
In contrast.
What am I gonna steal?
In contrast to the mask, Ash.
I don't know.
In contrast to the mask, Ash, this, whatever this is not screwing around levels of power that's locked in it. And it's not like super like nuclear plant power. It's the power of
Your soul.
No, it's the power of a glacier. It's implacable.
That's the slow food equivalent in energy.
So once Ash has a few moments to kind of like, quiet to himself and not, bothered by Torwin and Edward, like causing noise every few minutes. He's going to just take a few moments, center himself, and he's going to, think about this logically and the quickest methods he can get around this.
Oh,
and
somebody's breathing.
Then he is going to, make a small plea out to greater forces and see if somehow they could bypass this.
He's praying?
No, something.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm going for my new move.
All right. Wow.
And what I would like to do is the door is implacable as far as I'm considered here.
Yeah.
The wall around the door, not so much.
Okay. Let me I got to look at this move again. I was thinking about this move again today and going, I don't know what in blue blazes I can. Okay, let me look at this thing. When you Well, okay. I can see several ways that this. So
Could go very badly.
well, I can see several ways that it can go. So I'm fine with that. I'm gonna miss some catastrophe occurs. Oh God. All
I
right.
know.
Well,
Let's,
that could be fun.
you want to see how this goes?
Yeah. Well, let's just what you're centering yourself. So let's just see where we are on that. Tiana, let me just. I'm gonna get back over here for a moment and see if I can pull up.
Since none of the adults
None of the
Since none of the
adults.
adults are with him, I decided I had to move over here. Don't touch anything.
Okay, so what you are seeing, Tiana, is I'm trying to find one that's appropriately. Yeah, this will work. I don't like the labels on that. There we go. That'll work. Kind of. Okay. View image. And we'll grab the image on that and paste it over here so everyone can see. Go here. Okay. And
You're sharing your screen.
yep. That's fine. I'm not showing anything useful. Well, I am, but I'm going to cover that up
Dun,
really
dun,
quick.
Dun,
All right.
dun, dun.
There's other rooms. Now you know. There, click on that. Continue. There we go. If it ever comes up. All right, there we go. So this is what you see, except about 8 feet tall. And a bit more complicated.
It's an astrolabe.
Yes, yes, it is. On a
Or
chicken foot.
also known as a armillary sphere, but it's not. It doesn't look specifically like. It doesn't look exactly like that, but it looks a lot like that. So
Thus why.
what's that? Yeah, the chicken's foot is not actually.
Thus the interesting view from above on the map.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, iron hoops and rings arranged in layers, big enough to, and you're fairly certain designed to contain a human adult inside of it, suspended inside by restraints. You can actually see a couple spots where the restraints are at, or the chains are mounted. The outside clearly contains markings corresponding to positions of various celestial objects. Basically, as time passes and the position of the various heavenly bodies moves, the person inside is twisted into ever more improbable positions by the movement of the cosmos.
Hey, I've seen that episode of Farscape.
A Farscape? I don't remember that. You don't know. I mean, I don't think you would probably know at a glance as to whether or not it's even remotely accurate, but that's what it is.
And probably powered necromantically by whoever is being tortured.
Well, I don't. It's moving. Torwin said it moved while he was watching it. That one right there moved, and you're pretty sure what he's pointing at is like the silvery disc meant to represent the moon. So, which would make sense. It would be one of the most mobile heavenly bodies on the sphere. So it's moving now, for whatever that's worth. Basler and Edward, what are you doing? And then we'll get back to
Explosive
So
ash.
So based on that scroll map, it looks like there's probably something more interesting on the room across from where we are now. So I'm moving across the hall and checking that door.
right.
So enter the hallway.
Yep,
Okay.
you will now.
Okay, so I will probably point. Well, I don't know if he's interested in something interesting or not, or if he just complain about it.
Yes.
Try me.
Would you like to see a very interesting torture device?
And once you see one, you've seen them all.
Does Basler even know what to do with that kind of question?
You got me in a box here. Okay.
No, it's a sphere. It's clearly a sphere.
Oh, okay. Well, shouldn't have said that.
I love that.
Oh, okay, I'll take a look. Fine. Is there anybody? Is there anybody in it? How about that?
No, there's nobody in it.
Is Torwin
Not
in
unless I put Torwin there
Wait,
soon.
okay. Is Torwin in it?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Hey,
Check
Torwin,
again.
when she wandered out of the room, did you start crawling into that disc there to see if you could find any teeth?
No,
It just seemed like the sort of
of
thing you would do.
course not.
You guys come back in there, it's like all you can see is Torwin's wiggling ass as he's trying to work his way into the other torture device.
Okay, I'll come take a look.
No, all right. Yeah, so big. I mean, you don't know what it is necessarily. You've seen these kind of things in various domiciles that you may or may not have been invited to visit. I mean, if you could take, and you can easily see where the struts could be sort of broken down. So if you were inclined to take the whole thing apart, you could probably find a wizard somewhere in civilization and sell the thing for a good sum of money, but you need a pack mule or two. So it is technically treasure that would be worth.
Is it novelty?
Well, no, I mean honestly, someone like Ash or anybody else who's really into like arcane sciences and stuff like that could probably, depending on what their area of study was, could probably make, if this thing is even remotely accurate, could probably actually make lots of use out of it.
Also, I would get XP for recovering it.
But this thing moves by itself, right?
It is powered. Yeah, I mean it's got like a mechanism that keeps it moving. How that works?
Are we actually seeing it move?
If you sit there for,
I'm going to study the mechanism.
There's a big base, like that the whole thing is sort of mounted on, and whatever's driving it is like inside of that thing. So it's a little bit hard to get at. There's a lot of gears. When you get like a panel off and look at it, there's a lot of gears. They seem to be doing gear things.
Is it possible there's further mechanism that extends into the floor?
No. I mean, is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? You don't think so. I mean, you couldn't, I mean, you can't take it the way you can see. The thing is basically to scale. It's big. It's not going to go out that door, but yeah, I mean, you break it down, you could get it into, you could get it out of here and do something pretty, I mean, somebody would, be quite happy
Maybe when
about it.
Ash is finished trying to blow himself up, we can have him look at it.
Yeah, we definitely got to do that. Sounds good. Good find. In the meantime, I'm going to check that room again.
The other one that you had me.
The new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will wait here until Torwin leaves the room.
So and Basil, you found that mask in that first room down at the beginning?
Yep.
I'm just kind of trying to correlate some of the markings on that map to what's been found there.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at it, we found a mask in the room with a mark on the map.
Wait, you guys found a treasure map?
Well, sort of.
Yeah, why don't you come over here and take a look at the map on the wall?
It's on the floor, but yeah. Right in there. You just safely stay in that room with nothing to fiddle with.
Click.
Who has the key from the?
You spike the door.
Who has the key from the doors from before? The one that was in the outside of the
We didn't
unlocked door.
take it.
Who ended up with it? No, somebody took the key from the big front door. Was that Ash?
No, I wanted to take it, but Basler determined
Oh,
that.
Basler has it.
Well, no, he determined that we didn't need to take it to keep safe.
He determined that he couldn't use it to unlock the door from the inside. I don't know if
I'll
that
probably
meant that
still have it
nobody.
anyway.
Oh no, I thought he determined that the locking mechanism was such that he could easily break it open from the inside.
Mm. I may have miscommunicated, but yeah, no, the inside's basically like a vault door. It's not really easy to open from the inside. Anyway, so is the key still out there?
I would have brought it with me.
All right. I mean, at a glance, you're fairly sure that the key would fit. Whether or not it would actually lock that door with the torture devices in it is up for a test, but it would certainly fit the lock.
Just as a precaution against Torwinism.
You could toss it.
Hey, I have my own name.
You're like
that-
a religion.
Your
A
word, yes.
Catarwin fee?
That seems wise. I will secure that room.
Yeah, it does. It does lock. So that door, that room. I mean, Tiana, from just a simple tactical point of view, for all that it's filled with creepifying stuff, is actually, I mean, one way in, one way out, and the door is quite heavy and lockable from both sides.
Defensible.
That's quite a defensible room. So there you go. 7, kitchen, marble tables, marble. What? Marble tables.
Underground.
Yeah, stone benches surrounding a fire pit with a rusted spit, rusted tongs, cutlery. The upper parts of the walls stained with smoke. Cutlery items also rusted.
So
Dead
these death cultists did their shopping at Daikia. This is great.
Nice. And also,
Basler, I will do a search of the room and see what I can find.
anything in particular you're looking for? I mean, there's not.
I'm kind of expecting to find more things along the lines of that mask, like random gewgaws or knickknacks or something like that. But just anything that looks interesting. Like it feels like this place has kind of been cleared out, so anything that they left behind was either a secret or was
Anything
kind of
left in
useless.
the oven.
So
Yeah.
Any cookbooks?
I don't want to read those. No, that's we're
I don't know. I don't think there's any. You do get. I mean, just in moving things and kind of looking around, you handle a lot of devices that have been used for unsavory purposes, and these things make you feel uneasy just like handling them enough to move them to the side, like the cutlery and stuff. It just.
Oh my God! It's a cookbook.
Well,
Yes.
no, there's no cookbook, but like the cutlery itself, it just kind of gives you a oaky, greasy kind of feel to kind of want to wipe it.
Question:
Yes.
Did they actually lock me in the room?
And we
No,
locked
no,
you
no.
out of the room.
The door that they locked is the door into the, and Tiana can probably step out of there, but the door that they locked, the door that goes into the torture room is actually locked.
Yes.
They lock,
Okay.
They lock the torture room to secure the valuable armillary sphere.
And to prevent you from doing something stupid.
Also that. Also primarily that.
Edward
Ash.
got a +1.
Hey,
I was
Ash.
postponing Mike's message.
Yep.
Oh, Mike.
I knew I remembered that episode of Farscape.
The torture
Yes.
astrolab. Now I have to look.
Yeah, you do. You'll remember it.
Oh, I mean, it's close. You're meant to be inside of the thing, but yeah, basically.
The effects crew said it'd be easier to have them on the outside of it.
Yeah, combine, the armillary sphere with with a torture delta
Correct.
with the torture delta version of the Da Vinci drawing, and you're getting there, certainly. Anyway, right. So Ash,
Yes.
oh boy, when you call on the blah 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 blah, perform a task for you. Roll con. Roll con. Alrighty. Why don't you call upon the? Oh my God, a 10. All right. Primal spirits of earth, air, fire, and water. What are you asking for? A way through this door?
A way, preferably, although I am sure that, there are possibly other methods that they could use. I am preferably opening for a passage to open through the wall around the door. Since that is more of their speed rather than, magical security doors.
So on a 10 plus, choose 2 from the list below.
I am hoping that the effect I desire comes to pass, and that I retain control. Wink.
Looks so small. Right
Okay. Okay. All right. Splitting, blazing pain rips through your head. The worst sinus headache / migraine, blinding white, just nausea-inducing pain. Okay, I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced this, but when you're on a plane and you're descending, you will get this, like I will get this ice pick, just inexplicable ice pick of eye-watering pain right in my eyebrow when I'm descending, and nothing stops it. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I try everything, and none of it does any good. I feel like my head's gonna just split, and I'm gonna bleed all over the floor. And it doesn't go away for like 10, 15 minutes until after I'm on this earth. Like that, but like 4 times as bad, 100 times as bad. 45 on the 1 to 10 pain index.
So basically, he's exhibiting signs of a stroke, which is generally speaking the worst headache you've ever had.
Stroke-like symptoms.
Sure, yeah.
Fairly strokey.
Tiana.
Stroke man.
Tiana, the raccoon screams.
Yeah, I'm moving.
And then a second later, so do I.
I was going to ask you if the raccoon was.
I don't. Honestly, the GM is not 100% sure what the deal is with the raccoon, except that it's one of Ash's gizmos. So you find Ash, like, the only thing touching the ground, he's like arched in like this sort of silent scream, with his arms are kind of out and back, and the only things exactly technically touching the ground are the heels of his feet, the back of his head, and sort of like the knuckles of his hands, and everything else is arched up into the air. And as you are running towards him, he sort of collapses and rolls over onto his side and sort of spits blood out of his mouth. A good like, it's not like I just got punched blood, but like a major vein in my tongue ruptured, and I'm trying to clear my breathing passages, kind of.
Got it.
I wouldn't call it. It's not a gout per se, but it is a good solid mouthful of blood.
And I think once that all clears, Ash kind of rolls up onto into a seated position. It's just like, I think I've opened the passage.
You look at the passage. The door has not moved, and the wall is completely intact.
Well, crap.
But as you're saying, I think I opened the passage, you feel something in your mouth.
You? Did you just lose a tooth?
No, that
No, he's got a new
Miss-
one. Like drove up. Here. So like, not quite in like on the inside, like a second, like where there would be a second row of teeth on the inside track. The spirits you intoned have got to have got to find a loophole to be able to do what you want. And you don't end up paying nature's price, but or you remain in control.
I was about to say that sounds like nature's price.
That's nature's price. So the upside is you probably have the thing that will allow the door to open, and actually, it's not in there particularly solidly. You can actually wiggle it with your tongue.
All right.
Okay. Now, before we, so my first inclination while all of this is going on is to lay hands on him.
You certainly could, and he does take some damage here. I need to actually do that too.
Can I at least pluck the tooth out for that damage?
Yeah, sure. You should certainly do that. All right. Crazy old Zeke rolls a 5. So that's also so he goes, I think I figured out. Wait a minute. Oh, that son of a bitch. Hang on. And you hear that kind of crunching / fleshy, and he pulls a bloody tooth out of his mouth. At which point in time you lay hands. So what does the 8 do? I can't remember how that works. That means that you take the damage instead?
I don't have that on my sheet.
Let me look.
Let me look on the other one.
I thought you did.
I just have what happens if I do get it. Hang on a second.
Lay on hands. On the 7 to 9, they are healed, but the damage is transferred to you. Now,
Okay.
aren't you heroic?
Yeah, I got the hit points for it.
So it's not lay on hands; it's more like mouth to mouth here.
Ow.
Ew.
Ow.
Yeah, that
So, so Basler, you're not hurt, but
Sounds
Tiana
good.
lays hands, and you feel this great. Not Basler. I'm sorry, not Basler.
I'm fine with not being hurt.
Yeah, Ash, you're not hurt, although you do you feel this like cooling ease wash through you, and then Tiana
The stress just melts away for a second.
Yeah, Tiana like grunts, and then she sort of spits some blood out of her mouth. It's not nearly as much as you, just kind of like a little. Which is, 5 points a day. Well, now why are you hurt? Ash shouldn't be hurt. Why are you hurt?
Because I already take off the damage whenever you rolled it.
I'll put it back up then.
I did.
You good? All right. There you go. The 5 would have hurt him a lot more than it hurt you.
yeah.
5 is like a third.
I'm not complaining.
5 is like a third of his
wait.
hit points.
I'm the only one in the party that doesn't get points for complaining.
Okay. So, Torwin's in the slave quarters. Basler's in the kitchen.
I came running down to the temple when
Oh.
the raccoon started screaming. So.
The raccoon kind of licks Ash's face.
Okay.
What do you do with the tooth, Ash?
Well, I think I know what's going to happen here. I'm going to go put the
Let's
tooth
not
where it
do this while
belongs.
we're all here.
Before you
Wait,
do
wait,
that,
Wait.
before you do that,
Because it might be only like open for a minute. Let's get everybody
let's-
back here.
Well, yeah.
or
But wait,
let's,
I know where treasure is, you guys.
He knows where the treasure
well,
is.
we know that there are some interesting things beyond that locked door there. Is there anything that we think we might need before we go deeper into the
Well, you should.
temple through the forbidden?
You can certainly.
Think of the heroicness of it all Edward?
They tell more stories about you when you're rich. So, just saying.
I mean,
That's certainly how Edward would put it.
For the sake of completeness, certainly exploring the other.
Well, I'm kind of curious about from that map and what other things there may be lurking in some of these chambers,
Indeed.
as well as kind of the weird things that are drawn off to the side.
Indeed.
Can I just remind people that we do have like skulls dropping and
actually, right about when she says that,
Clunk.
need to get off the meeting.
Another one falls, and that's actually like there was another one that fell like when Ash was busy meditating, and you guys were in another area. So we're actually like, what are we on, like the fifth one now? Something like that. 1, 2,
Four.
3, 4. No, because we had 3, and now it's 4 and 5. That was the fifth one that fell.
Well, that's disconcerting.
Well, you were busy meditating, and the other guys were in the other room, so you didn't notice the fourth one.
Hey, Bachelor, I know where there's some treasure.
What?
On the surface?
It might be dangerous.
Well,
Again, got them in a box.
so when you defeat the danger, let me know. I mean, danger's your thing, right? You can handle it.
No.
You can't handle danger?
It's dueling motivations here. It's dueling flags. Basil, searching through all the cabinets, you don't really find anything unspecifically noteworthy there. You want to go down and check out the locked door?
I will, yeah.
Make mincemeat of that?
Like if they mention like their skulls coming down, yeah, I'll also hurry the program up a little bit.
Okay. All right.
By the way, Joyce, I decided on my move.
What's that move? Oh,
Charge.
Charge. I didn't look at that yet.
So when you lead the charge into combat, those you lead take +1 forward.
Nice.
Except
I will never get that bonus.
Yeah.
The problem with that is Corwin would probably race ahead.
Yeah, but she's still the leader. Even if, it's like the Hobbits when they charge at the end of the third movie, but really it's Aragorn leading, and very shortly thereafter everyone else is ahead of them too. Except Torwin's faster, but spiritually speaking, Tiana's still leading. And everyone else is just sort of wincing that Torwin's in front. Baszler, why don't you give me a dex roll, please?
Coming up.
Rolls an 8. Okay. All right. Gotta go back and look at that move there.
You still do it, but the GM will offer you 2 options between suspicion, danger, or cost.
2 options.
I'm not even sure what suspicion would mean in this context, so if you have a better option.
I think I'm going to have to go with, well, I know what suspicion would be in this situation. I'm going to go with suspicion and danger, although neither one of those will be particularly immediately evident. So.
Well, technically I get to choose which 2, but
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I choose between suspicion and danger.
I'll take both of those because I have to pick 2 anyway.
Oh, did you? Well, okay. I thought you had to pick one of. Okay.
2 options between suspicion. You get 2. You have to take 2 out of 3 basically as a player.
Cost would be probably like it was like the old rusty lock, and it cost you like your best lock pick.
Yeah, broken lock picks. The door falls on you. Whatever.
Yeah. It's not trapped, so it'd probably be something with your equipment. Which if you'd prefer that, I can certainly go with that over one of the other 2.
As loath as he would be to admit it, Baszler needs his lockpicks to be useful here. So
okay. All right. All right. So this one here, as pre-germ theory, hole in the floor, loos go. This one's actually quite nice. It has a stone chair.
Oh, that's great.
Quite fancy.
Marble.
Locked door or not locked door?
Locked door.
All right. I'm gonna let the thing ride here as far as that goes. So we don't need to have another lockpick roll for this one. Link. All right. So this is a. Oh. We sort of lost
Does it
track
get Wi-Fi in that hotel suite?
Edward, we sort of lost track of this, but Edward, did you take a look at that book that was in the torture room?
There was a book in the torture room?
Yeah, there was a book on the floor. You made some comment about Torwin not being able to read it.
You did mention there was a
although I will
because I did go over to the torture room at one point. Yeah. So if I had spotted the book there, I probably would have.
I mean, the whole thing is
picked it up.
It's unfortunate.
Before the raccoon started screaming.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's fairly thick. It's a lot of like crabbed handwriting and so forth, but it's all apparently in the sort of the dialect of that old ancient dialect that everything is sort of in. So you can't really make heads or tails of it. There are some diagrams that would seem to indicate that at least some of it, if not all of it, concerns itself rather in great detail with making people very unhappy and wishing that they were not around anymore. So there's that.
Oh boy.
Once again, not the Book of Life.
Yeah, book on. You're not sure. You need to get somebody who's an expert on the ancient dialect of the Duvanku, I guess. Okay. So Basler, once opulent room.
I'm guessing priest quarters. By the look of it.
You would guess head priest quarters. Marble headpieces shaped like fist-sized skulls are scattered liberally amidst rotting furniture and fabrics. There's a big armoire set into the wall.
How much time do we have?
Oh, about 6 skulls.
Seven skulls.
7 skulls.
I'll check my sundial on my wrist.
The armoire, when I say it's set into the wall, I mean it's actually like sort of like part of the wall. There might be something useful inside of it. The beds, like you say, most of the stuff appears to have been kind of cleaned out. Inside the armoire, it's set into the wall and it's much deeper than it looks from the outside. There are a bunch of shelves, and you for a little bit you're having trouble making heads or tails of what you're even seeing. It's like glass, like just hundreds, if not even thousands of little glass globes about the size of like a baseball on little mounts, and there's hundreds of them.
I've seen enough Phantasm to know where this is going.
I don't know that I know what you mean, but
that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. There's something inside each one of them. Most of them look the same, like just at a glance, or like glass globes they all seem to be fairly, like almost identical, and they all seem to have sort of the same thing inside of them, mostly.
Is it a tiny human body or any part thereof?
No.
Or just a glowing
Thank
light.
you.
Is it
flickering softly?
It is.
Bless you.
It's a. They each have they don't. There's a couple that aren't the same, but they each have most of them have a small model of a mountain peak with a graveyard on top and a cabin.
Ash!
Torwin, what are you doing? I see you out there by that unlocked door.
I want to go look at that.
Okay. There you go. Ash.
Is there anything in it?
Yes, there is. get Basler here in the. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait. I'll get. Let me do. Let me get. Okay. The shelves. All the walls are shelves. The shelves have all rotted, and the books that were on them have tumbled into the onto the floor. Books, scrolls,
Ooh.
all kinds of stuff. The thing on top that's kind of laid out must have been like up on a shelf or something and then fallen because it's just a big open scroll. It wasn't rolled up or anything. So that one is like some sort of architectural drawing, maybe. Old, really old.
Ooh.
Got there, Torwin?
That one there is obviously a crab.
That one there. So Ash, Basler points you at an armoire that's got literally thousands of tiny little snow globes with perfect replicas of the top of Deathfrost Mountain on it. In it.
All of them?
Not all of them. Most of them. They're all. I mean, they're all mostly the same. Some have slightly different architecture for the cabin, and some of them the mountain shape is slightly different. Some of them show 2 moons. Some of them show 3 moons. Some of them have no moons. Why don't you give me a, let's say, defy danger will.
Defy danger.
So Ash has a flag saying, "Show me something important or interesting," but this feels almost too automatic to qualify for.
It's oh, it's good that you called him though, but yeah. So yeah. Ash gets really, really like nose right to the glass on one of them, Basler, and is staring in there, and he's like, Ash, you'll have to tell me what it is that Basler hears you saying. You're actually seeing on one of the mountain peaks replicas at the cabin. There's little people, and they're slogging through the snow toward the cabin. You can actually see them moving. They're like little ants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just be like, oh, I recognize those two.
No, it's actually not. I mean, it's not you and the other two. It's
okay.
It's like 6 dudes. You might remember. It kind of scratches like at the back of your head, like maybe you remember that. But honestly, it's at this point you're starting to question whether or not you actually remember all the times you've been up the mountain. It's not been this many. You're practically, positively, almost like 75%.
I hope it isn't.
Yeah.
I hope it is.
It's like thousands. You do see a couple that aren't the mountain. There's one that looks like a little city, like a cityscape under moonlight. You see a couple that are, or at least one that's like a pyramid in a desert. There's another one that's a pyramid out in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are the mountain, however. Many, many, many are the mountain. So that is the thing. Edward.
Well, I think it is time to perform an experiment.
Basler, you also in doing your standard tossing the room kind of stuff, You find inside of the pillowcase, like the rotting pillowcase or pillow, is a satin glove with like very faint jewels, like possibly diamonds, but probably not. But semi-precious stones of the pale variety, like peridots and stuff like that, sewn into this sort of satin glove. There's not two. You look for the other one. You don't see anything, but it's weird, but probably valuable.
Sounds good. And I'm one glove down anyway.
Oh, that's right. Good point. You just,
all right.
You just slip it on?
I'll tuck it away.
Oh, tuck it away?
I'm not quite reckless enough to just put things on in here, but I'll keep it on my person.
It's glittery.
This is like the glove of Vecna. I'm not falling for this.
The glove of Vecna. No, this is the glove that makes the hand of Vecna.
Damn it.
No, okay. Ash, what you doing?
So the globe with the 6 little guys in there.
Well, and actually, when you look, you can see a few more where you can see little footprints. You might be able to spot a couple more where there's people moving around.
Yes.
There's at least 3 where you see people running pell-mell. Actually, you see more than a few where you see people running pell-mell away from the cabin. In most of those, the graveyard is a mass of writhing limbs and like things pulling itself out of the ground, that sort of stuff.
Well, that's safe and comforting.
Yeah. It doesn't.
That's cool.
So with the one with like people just walking. If I pick it up and jiggle it.
You appear to start a snowstorm. It doesn't like shake the mountain as such, but you do appear to start like a snowstorm.
And are the people reacting to the snowstorm?
They were already. They appear to hurry even more quickly towards the cabin as the only place of safe refuge on the mountain.
Sucks for them.
You may have just killed them.
Sucks for them.
It'll just take some time.
So good news, bad news.
Good.
So if Basler comes back and sees this, I'm gonna be sitting here thinking, this is an endless supply of like stocks and provisions for us if we play our cards right.
I'm just going to look at you, and it's just like, what?
Well,
Well, these guys aren't going to need that stuff anymore.
But how do you?
Okay, three questions. One, they're still tiny. That's more of a statement than a question, but still. 2, yeah.
Still waiting for the question.
I haven't heard anything that sounds like a no yet.
At what point do you just want to are you implying that you're going to kill the people in the snow globe?
No, I'm just saying there's a lot of people probably dead in there anyway, and their equipment's going to go to waste. So there's a way to get in there and get stuff out.
You guys can continue that. Dave, you
Yes.
Torwin and you are both in that room.
Yes. I'm kind of looking over Torwin's shoulder at the interesting map.
Yeah.
The map said there was treasure in here.
The map said there was.
Well,
treasure?
the other map said there was something in here.
There was a treasure chest.
Actually, I think it looked like, on retrospect, it looked more like bookshelves. Just saying.
Torwin looks somewhat put out.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
We can hear you. Yes.
I didn't hear half of what you just said, Dad.
He says in retrospect that drawing actually looks a lot like bookshelves.
No, it's a treasure chest.
he says, surrounded by what are obviously bookshelves.
There's no glory in books.
Aww.
Shut your mouth there, Torwin.
Says from the next room over. Dave.
Yes.
What you doing with these pile of apparently glory-free books?
I will look and I'll kind of I'll kneel down there and see if I can see anything that looks interesting. Perhaps anything that isn't scribbled in this maddening text that I can't read.
Oh, well, yeah, this is a broad enough mix. You can actually find stuff that's not all written in there.
And just a note, I throw a comment up on the chat log here. Margie, the sound failed for Margie in Hangouts for all during the stuff going on with Basler and Ash in the.
Okay, so I will.
So when we circle back to that or to her, we'll need a recap.
Okay, no problem. I will do the really quick version. Margie, there's an armoire in the what appears probably the High Priest bedroom that's got about 1,000 snow globes in it that all seem to have replicas or possibly alternate versions of the mountain peak with the cabin on top. Some of which actually have little tiny people in there that are moving. In some cases heading towards the cabin, in some cases fleeing the cabin while things tear itself out of the ground. Stuff like that.
Did Margie actually fix her headset though?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Any of them look like somebody we know?
Not thus far. Although Ash has got a big question mark. That's sort of a question mark for Ash. It's kind of hard to say.
Speaking of, if there is like one of the more alien-looking ones, or just like a very odd-looking one that doesn't have people running to and fro there, I feel like I want to pocket that one.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry. Say like you want ones where it doesn't look like it's what?
Well, you said there were somewhere there were like 2 moons, 3 moons.
Oh yeah.
I'm partial to numbers like 5.
To numbers like 5. You want ones with lots of moons?
Yeah.
All right. So you're looking for something that's a fairly significant. Well, if you really want one that's really
the astrolabe torture thing look like with 5 moons?
Probably very cool. If you want one that's totally a variation, then you would grab one of the ones that's like a desert pyramid, because there's a couple, Margie. There's a couple that aren't the mountain that are like a desert pyramid, a jungle pyramid, a cityscape with a moonlit cityscape, things like that.
We'll go for jungle pyramid.
Jungle pyramid. Okay, that as far away as possible. Okay. Dave, could you roll me? Oh boy, I don't know that you're a book person much. Oh, you got intelligence though. Give me an intelligence roll. Give me an intelligence searching kind of.
Books are just places where people keep stories.
A 6. Okay, this is gonna take you some time. Torwin, why don't you give me
I have an idea.
Torwin, I want you to roll me an intelligence roll. I want to see how bad your idea is.
No, you have to hear my idea first.
Well, okay. Go ahead. What's your idea?
Well, looking at the map, there are other kind of separated areas.
Mm-hmm.
The scrawled map.
Clearly, the scrawled map. Clearly, that must mean there is a trapdoor probably behind one of the bookcases.
Well, the bookcases, the shelves are gone. So, I mean, if you're so inclined, you could certainly try to tear the back out of the bookcase and see if there's a door back there.
Yes.
In the correct direction. All right. So, Torwin starts
tearing apart
the back of the bookshelf.
I would poke fun at Torwin, but I had a similar thought. But I'm busy looking at books.
Yes. And so you actually find something, and it's a score. It's a musical score, and you find yourself looking at it. Well, you look at it and you start to puzzle it out. Ash, having
Yes.
pocketed the globe, you go back in there and you see this room full of books, which is like, candy. Some time has passed. Torwin has entirely torn out the back of all of the, I'm going to call it westward-facing bookshelves, apparently looking for some sort of secret door, secret passage, or something. And now is starting to work on the north-facing ones. Edward is sitting, and Edward is sitting in the middle of the floor, cross-legged, with this like musical score in his lap, and is
noodling it out.
He's deeply in study on this thing. You hear one of the skulls out in the main room drop, or what's probably that sound.
Great. Guys, we're wasting time.
You only
Joyce,
hear the sound of
Yeah.
reflection.
Joyce, where's my heart take me?
At this point, probably much more clearly through that other door.
Okay. The main one, the scary tooth one?
Yes, the scary tooth one.
Okay,
there's a
guys,
lot of nice books in here, Ash. There's a lot of stuff in here. Some of it's in English, or not English. Some of it's not in Duvan Ku.
So,
okay, Ash.
Give me like.
We don't have time for this.
2 minutes.
No, we don't have time for this. You've had 2 minutes.
Well, actually, technically, Edward wasted a lot of time because he sort of went into a little bit of a eye glazed sort of stupor.
Hey, I made a tooth for this. Give me 2 minutes.
You get 2 minutes. I'll round up the rest of them.
Ash, give me an intelligence roll. All right. Okay.
So I just want to be clear that we have a door that we can expend a tooth to go through.
Yes.
And there's falling skulls, meaning that we have a time limit, and there's some urgency to this.
Correct.
So tooth and consequence.
Correct. Oh God.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much.
Oh my God. Wow. Tooth and consequences.
That's a good title for this
session. Tooth and consequences.
Think about that one, Dave.
You find Ash, you find it looks like some sort of magical formulae entitled Resonance of the Bound Spheres.
Super. Let's pocket it and head for the door.
Some sort of some sort of contacting another realm thing in some fashion. Details hazy. Try again later when Tiana doesn't have your ear and dragging you forcibly into another room. Dave,
I get talked to by things I don't like here. Why would I contact outer realms?
Well, I say outer realm. It's specifically called the Bound Spheres. So, Anyway, food for thought. You turn that over.
An instruction manual for the device at the end of the hall?
Maybe, sort of, possibly. We'll check later.
Yeah, we'll find out later.
Okay, I'll pocket my
thing,
my musical score, and follow Tiana.
It's just so you know, it's absolutely arranged for organ. It is very specifically arranged for organ. Like, it's got all the notations for it. At the top, it says arranged for organ.
I like my organs arranged the way they are. Thank you.
All right. Yo, I like how Tiana is actually working through down a list of everybody and how to get them moving toward the door.
It's like if there's danger, Bezler's right there. It's like, come on.
Ash, it's almost anticlimactic. You toss the tooth in the basin, and the door just goes and kind of like opens up against the wall and just stays open.
Man, all this could have been accomplished with a door, a tooth, or a door, a string, and Torwin.
A door. Yes, actually, probably true. And do. There we go. All right.
I hope you all appreciate this.
Bloody tooth. That little bloom of blood and water as you drop the tooth in. You got an intersection here. You can hear the music more clearly when the door opens. Not a lot more clearly, but certainly a bit more clearly. So you're at this little intersection. There's a door straight ahead, a door to the north. There's an open room to the south that appears to contain 4 big stone slabs with like blood grooves in them that are stained with blood. There's old bandages, rusted old surgical tools. Looks like some sort of. If you had to ballpark it, you're thinking embalming room. It's probably not torture room because you already found that. So,
oh, good. The place where we can put the tooth back in.
There's 4 big alchemical flasks, sort of not on IV hooks, but like kind of like that, with like on like suspended on like straps or whatever. With
like embalming fluid.
Yeah, but it's got a label on it, but it's written in the old language, so it's not immediately clear what the hell that is. There's a book on one of the at the end of one of the tables, at the top of one of the tables, I should say, on the non-draining end, also labeled in Duvanku. Might be useful. Who knows? Might be valuable. Who can say? And the doors. I should talk about the doors real quick. The doors are big vault door looking things, but conveniently, there are big bank vault like wheels mounted on the wall right next to each one of the doors. So apparently, you just spin the wheel and the door opens.
Again, we're going in the right direction as opposed to not wanting to be on the other side of this particular door.
The right direction would be for you, Tiana. This way.
You mean where Torwin wants to go?
Yes, where Torwin wants to go, which is disturbing at a number of levels that the right direction is the direction that Torwin also wants to go. So take that for what it's worth. So,
okay.
All right. You spin the wheel.
Are we all together now?
Yes. The otherworldly noise / music that you've been catching wind of is about as loud as a violinist playing in the same room as you at this point.
So not loud?
Edward, cancel them out.
I'm sorry, what?
What was that?
Cancel it out?
How do you
It's not as loud as somebody playing the violin in the same room as us.
Ah.
So quietly.
No, not. I didn't say quietly. I said playing the violin in the same room as you.
No, but I'm saying the violin is quiet.
Says the flute player.
Hey, I can play louder than you. You want to try me? I will get the piccolo out.
I will get the flugel.
Well, that's different. That's not loud. That's shrill.
I will cover you up, and you're one to talk violin.
Viola.
Look what you've started, Joyce.
Yeah, I know. Now it's like instrument bragging. I don't know what's going on over here. All right, so we got a big.
So we get the door open.
Yes. There, you get the door open. It's a big, long. Who's got a light? Ash has a light. Torwin has a lantern.
I do.
Oh my God, Torwin,
This
where are you
little
going?
guiding light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Well, clearly, if it's at the end of the hallway, it's the best.
It's okay. That's interesting logic. All right, you've got a vault. Another one of the vault spinner doors here. Oh, my little pinger isn't working. Hang on. Ping, and you have a regular door here. That door is actually open.
Oh, hey, this is the other map.
No, it's not.
No,
I
it's
looked.
not. You're right. You're no fun.
All right, what's everybody doing? Tiana's farthest forward. So what are you doing, Tiana?
I am farthest forward. Thank you very much.
I don't want to know what you're doing yet. It's terrifying to me. And also,
the door gets opened and Torwin races down.
yeah. So
I trip him.
stay here.
Too late.
Heal. It's all.
Torwin had lots of experience ducking angry hands grabbing him,
Yep. That's actually fair.
telling him to stay here.
I could probably. I believe that.
Master's whopping him upside the head.
Something like that. Sure.
He has a very hard head.
So I'm sorry. The room on the left looks like a private prayer room or
yeah,
smaller chapel.
A chapel.
I'll give you a. Well, actually, no. I'll give you a glance. It's a little bit different than that, actually. And Torwin, you would have seen this going by, so this may be of interest. You may have stopped. You tell me. So what you have in that wrong notes. 18 marble pedestals with each one with a large book open on each one of them. That's what you immediately see was just walking by from the outside.
Large books?
Yeah, like each one probably weighs like 20 pounds. So you're looking at.
Are they like the evil book upstairs?
They're maybe. No,
Okay.
they're not lists of names. They're written. They're not written as though they're. Tiana, you see, if you're looking that closely at it, one of them, there's a little, I guess it looks like a jeweler's loop next to one of the books, like a little lens kind of a deal that you, all brass and bronze and crystal and whatnot.
Ooh, let's take a look at that.
What do you do with it when you just hand it to one of the people who's likely to actually get excited by it? Or what do you do? Did I lose Margie?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm here.
Okay. So do you do something with it, or you hand it to one of the people who's more likely to actually care?
I'm probably going to taunt Ash into looking at it.
Mark XP.
Hey, Ash, check this thing out. What do you think it's for?
And where does my heart want me to go?
Oh, that's tough. North, certainly.
So where Torwin is?
Up where Torwin went, yeah.
Little monkey.
As Torwin was walking past the open room, he looked in, saw a bunch of books, and was slightly interested. Then his unerring sense of adventure led him onwards.
There's no greater adventure than books.
Hey, so Ash, that lens lets you read Divan Ku.
Nice.
Holy moly!
Marking XP.
Sweet.
The labels on all of these books are. Hang on. Have to secure disturbing screenshot. The labels on all these books are... and Torwin, don't move because you've spotted something that will probably keep you set still for a second. Sorry. Chronicle of the Most Consummate Church of Divan Ku, volumes 1 through 18. Each one's labeled volume 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 18 20-pound books of allegory and legend about the entire history of the Divan Ku. Without some sort of professional scholar to provide context, they're going to be... I mean, even with them, it's going to be weeks of trying to sort the damn thing out. Give me an intelligence roll.
Okay, I can spout some more about this.
Sure. By all means, spout some more about this.
By lore, you mean BS?
No, it is lore.
Total lore.
It's still lore.
I know.
Did somebody get a 6? Or I remember, did somebody... Edward, did you remember to mark XP for that 6 that you rolled back when you were trying to sort out the music?
No, I did not, but I will do so.
That, incidentally, that song is annoyingly...
Stuck in my head.
Yeah, a bit, yeah. Can't grab the image. Torin needs something. Hang on. I got to look at what it is.
No, don't worry about it.
All right.
I was
the backpack,
trying to...
The backpack leash. Gotcha.
Yeah, I found an image of one, but I can't get it to link because of where it is. So.
And what did Ash end up doing with his? He rolled a 7. Okay. So what's okay? We're looking at basic moves. We're looking at spout lore. When you consult your accumulated knowledge about something, roll int on a 10, 7 to 9. Tell you something interesting. It's on you to make it useful. You find in the 16th volume, there's a little inserted note on a piece of vellum by some, apparently at that point in time, contemporary Divan Ku historian, concerning the necessity of investigating the possible betrayal of Praetor Pontifex Cyrus Carnithrax Maximus by the Red Architect, also known as Nazir an Azat, both of whom are said to now be entombed within the shrine of the Divan Ku in the tombs of the greater repugnances.
Investigate Max's betrayal of...
By the Red Architect.
By the
Pontifex Cyrus Carnithrax Maximus, by the Red Architect, Nazir an Azat. Both of whom are apparently entombed in the tombs of the greater repugnances right here in the shrine. So.
Hey guys, I found out where we are.
Well, the note seems to indicate that the tomb of the greater repugnances is a area within the larger shrine of the Divan Ku, which is where you are for sure. The shrine is the thing. The tomb of the greater repugnances, you're not 100% sure on where the heck that's at. Tiana and Torwin.
Yeah, that is 3 or 4 levels of rope.
What'd you say? 3 or 4 levels of what?
Rope.
Rope?
You need to learn to let go. Let go of your fears. What's the worst that could happen?
All right. After the bronze door opens, the otherworldly sound.
Worried about strangers.
All right. After the bronze door opens, that right there at the end of that hallway, there, the otherworldly sound is now as loud as a string quartet in the same room.
So, a bit more than a whisper.
I'm going to have you have a word with your grandmother, young lady.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, it's actually like have to talk loud to be heard over it kind of level.
That's part of the string quartet.
You just go watch a couple of Two Cellos videos and get back to me. in front of you, right here. Oh wait, I can't ping.
The glowing statue that I go and run up and grab.
Boy, well, you certainly can. A massive. Actually, I'll show you a picture here. Uno momento. Ash, have you got something you're wanting to do here?
No.
And drag and drop, and it will be uploading momentarily. A massive carving in the wall at the end of the hallway. Stone eye with hundreds of smaller stone eyes carved into the pupil. Set into the wall above a basin filled with black and stagnant water. And it.
How delightful.
Hang on.
I go poke the water with a stick.
Hang on. I don't. Can you guys see it? I dropped the picture, but you probably can't see it. All right.
No.
All right. Hang on a moment.
Not well.
Yeah, the fog of war is always the top level.
Oh, that's annoying. All right. Hang on a second. Let me do it a different way. We will add a handout, and I will drag that bad boy right in there. Dun, 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 dun. And we'll save the changes and show to the players. There we go. How's that? Better?
Mildly disturbed.
That's really cool.
I can't even tell which one of you is saying that.
Context should be context.
Yeah. So the noise is probably coming from the hallway to your left, and the eye thing is right in front of you.
And there's a door.
And there's a door. There's a door to your
To get around behind the eye, yeah.
Ooh, behind the eye?
The eye is here, the door is here, and then there's a hallway, and the sound is actually coming from like down this hallway here.
My spidey senses are tingling.
You don't have spidey senses.
My Torwin senses are tingling.
Your Torwin senses.
You barely have Torwin senses.
You definitely have Torwin senses.
Actually, Tiana does have spidey senses. Where does Tiana want to go?
Tiana wants to go left.
Into the eye.
Ha!
It's. I think you should actually feel really, like, worried about the fact that your Tiana senses are leading you to the same place that your Torwin not so really senses are.
Yeah, no good will come of it, I'm sure, but that's kind of why we're here, isn't it?
Adventure.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, big thing.
I can't click. Hang on.
Big is never good.
Big is always good.
That. And Tiana, you can go right up to that. No, you just hang on there for a second there. And so eyeballs. Where's Basler? I like how he's all the way back down at the end of the hallway.
Are you surprised?
Smart.
The only smart one.
You guys just let me know what's happening. Okay.
Shout at the sound of treasure.
Tiana, you are. You can move yourself up by Torwin because that's probably where the message takes you. The eyeball. In the little alcove there, labeled 20. There's another one of those. Well, actually, let me make sure I got that right. There's another one of those portal. The airlock doors, whatever. You know what I mean. The vault doors. There, and the fountains are statues of children vomiting black water into two different fountains on either side of flanking this door, with a pattern of copper coins marked with the Divan Ku rune for gift. You now recognize that, Ash, painted on it. There's a few copper coins in one. And we have the sound, which is apparently singing. Okay. So we'll just... Not that kind of singing. High-pitched wailing. Okay.
I will note that there are multiple rooms that we went past. Ooh.
Okay. All right. This room is completely occluded by a viscous substance.
That Torwin's standing in the
No,
middle
Torwin,
of.
you gotta back up, dude. You're definitely not in that stuff.
You don't tell
Right.
Corwin what to do.
Okay. The whole room seems to be at least mostly full by this viscous substance, somewhere between phlegm and a jellyfish. The doorway literally frames a pale, opaque, aged, completely bald, and completely human and human-sized head hanging off the front of the bloated mass like a knot in a dirty white balloon. Flanked by a pair of little, thin, feeble shoulders terminating in equally frail arms, kind of hanging, just hanging. Its eyes are sort of rolled back in its head. Its mouth is open, and it's just doing the thing.
That's cool.
Oh,
No,
I'm sorry.
it's disgusting.
So is this this is the source of the music?
The sound. This is the sound. Yeah, this is the source of the sound. So it's quite loud.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Describe this. I'm sorry. Describe this again. It's the
so the entire room beyond, which is probably okay. I got to give you quite a few pieces of information here all at once. So you have this entire room beyond you is apparently filled with what might be the body of this thing. A veritable galaxy of glass-like spheres, not containing pictures of the mountain, but filled with amber, like three-quarter, each one of them three-quarters filled with like that amber fluid. Are a veritable galaxy of them are suspended inside of this goop. At the front, in the doorway where you're standing, is the human head and arms sort of that are just sort of emerging out of this mass. Through there and actually looking at the room itself, you can see an altar with a golden bowl on it, a golden book. Behind it, carved into the wall, is a big stone skeleton with its arms kind of coming around and sort of over and around the altar area. It looks like, I mean, it's hard to make out, but if you could get all of this, whatever the hell this horrifying thing is, out of the way, this might be the altar from the painting up in the cabin. In fact, it probably is, although you don't see the doors that were depicted in the painting. They're in the.
At which point, Yana has to stop Torwin from like picking up a glass.
Well, they're inside the body of this thing. They're like in the room,
goo.
like
Ooh.
they're in the goo. They're not laying around. They're like inside of the body of this thing. And there's also kind of a, in the middle of the room, there's like a. It's hard to make out. There's like maybe a hole in the floor or in the ceiling or both. It's like looking into a fishbowl and trying to see what's on the other side of it. When like the water is all cloudy and nasty.
It's distortion.
It's distorted and it's turning everything upside down or weird.
So I'm afraid, Ash, that this might be the important thing for you to look at, because damned if I know what this gross thing is.
I have to say, I thought I had seen all the horrible things that could possibly come up as horrible things, but this is actually trumped that.
Oh, look, Torwin's going off and looking in a different room.
That's because you guys are being boring and doing other stuff.
It can't be full of anything more horrifying than this, so let him be.
Oh, wow.
Really?
The gauntlet has been thrown down.
Really?
Well, I played Dark Souls once or twice, so I know that this is going to involve dodge rolls.
Okay. You've played Dark.
Hey, from that description, that's what this sounds like.
Ash, what were you doing up by the fountains out of curiosity?
I just wanted to examine them because, viscous black fluids being vomited.
Well, it's
by
black.
statues.
It's not viscous. It's black water, and it's definitely being vomited. And it's not just like their mouths are open and the water's like they're actually depicted as though they are vomiting.
Retching.
Yeah, retching. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Ash, you spent a lot of time looking at those skulls and looking up at those skulls, and because of that, it takes you a lot less time, which is to say any time, for you to recognize the face of this thing, the human face that's on the front of this blob.
Hey guys, this is our pal from the lobby.
It is the same face. I mean, it takes a little looking at to identify it, but it's the same face as the guy who was depicted with like a bunch of swords driven through his body and dropped into an hourglass.
Oh, that guy.
Although, if that's true and it's actually accurate, because he has apparently, if that is the same, if this is actually a person, he has developed a severe melanin deficiency over the course of however freaking long this is, because he's basically transparent.
And I just will note to everyone, in case they've forgotten, he's the one that's making all the sound.
Also, like a Dark Souls boss.
Apparently.
I haven't played Dark Souls, so I can't say.
So trapped here for all eternity.
What was the name of the blasphemer, Ash?
Maximus Max.
No, he was the one betrayed by the Red Architect.
Carnifex,
Yes.
Cyrus, Maximus, something S, Praetor, Pontifex, Carnifex, Cyrus, Maximus, something or other.
Max.
So do we think this is Max?
Push the button, Max.
I would take a good, strong guess that this is Max. Because I'll tell you, if I led a crazy death cult, this is what would happen to people I betrayed.
The only thing that's weird about that, though, Edward, is that
Yes.
particular mural was added later. Much like whatever had been on the wall or ceiling had been destroyed, and this was painted
the mural
in
that he was in was added a lot later, though. I mean, something had been broken away, and this, the mural of the guy with the swords and the hourglass was a late addition. Unless whatever's going on here wasn't intended or wasn't part of the original plan.
Maybe he's more important than whoever was in the mural before.
Well,
or maybe it's to depict this horrible fate that has been meted out to him.
Like the mummy?
Yeah.
Well, the hourglass could depict that he, his singing coincides with some sort of timer, possibly like the skulls out front. But that's just, supposition.
Also, his body.
Or could just reflect that he's trapped here for all time.
Yeah.
Is it responding at all to our presence?
No.
Maybe with the stick.
I'm sorry. I thought you said something about his dick, and I was just trying to...
No.
No.
I think it's not better, but what she actually said was maybe we should poke him with a stick. It's not actually a better comment.
I don't know that that's actually not a bad idea ultimately, but
Torwin in the other
I'll do it.
Torwin in the other room. Pedestals, pillows, tablets, stained dark with old blood. You can't
Treasure?
read. You can't read any. There's
Glory?
no. There's a podium with a bronze plaque on it, and on top of the podium there's several ink pots and a pile of rusting needles.
A tattoo?
I won't poke myself with those.
He's learning. Or
Slowly.
That happened about when I was apprenticed to the tailor.
Tetanus shots. One of the few people
Eventually.
who ever survived lockjaw. Okay. So you got Well, he's depicted as being like some sort of sacrifice. Also somewhat angelically in the picture. Like he was all like light shining down upon him. Blah blah blah. Dropped into the thing. And not for nothing, Edward, I'll let you make this connection. He's apparently contained within him are a lot of globes with that soul goop in it.
yes.
Like a lot. Many. And this may be where we have to stop, which is kind of awesome.
Can I poke him with the stick first?
No, you're busy
No.
looking at the tattoos.
You're busy looking at the tattoo ink. There's only so much damage you can do at once.
Am I really still there?
Well, they haven't been doing that much, and there's a lot of little tiny things to look at in another room. I'll let you poke it eventually.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So we're finishing up.
I don't know. If you guys have any other
It's going
ideas.
on 10:30.
Yeah, it is coming up on 10:30. Yeah.
I
30
do
foot,
need to get.
room inside, 30-foot high ceilings, giant carved skeleton on the west wall, intricately carved waist-high altar, 2 golden goblets, a large ornate golden book. That book, Margie, probably what you're looking for.
Oh, cool.
Just inconveniently
On the other side of the glob.
of the glob, yeah.
Nice to know.
So there you go. And I think we'll stop there because that's just
A great place to start.
It's better than Torwood saying I have an idea and stopping there.
as we fade to black, Edward catches himself humming the tune that the thing is.
Oh, I kick him again.
Stop it.
So I'm sorry. Is he making sounds that correspond with the tune that I found in the musical score?
No, that's a whole different tune entirely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's whatever he's singing doesn't seem to have anything.
I don't know. A soul-rending, horrendous shriek? That sounds like organ music.
No. Wow, super opinionated. Honestly, Edward, whatever this thing, it's like I said, it's disturbing stuff. But from a thematic point of view, it is.
Someone was a great interior decorator?
It is completely different in structure, in everything, musical philosophy, if you like, from the stuff on the paper, from even the notes, as much as you were able to figure it out, that were scratched into the wall in the slave chambers, from the harpsichord music, even from the clock ditty. They all you can almost find a thread through those. Not this. This is different. This is something else. So, and I will leave you to ponder that for probably several weeks, since we won't be in this week.